Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Price to Sell podcast. I'm your host, Matthew Campoli, and today we have another wonderful guest for you guys. We have Miss Kate Broddick, also known as on Instagram, Agent Kate. You probably follow her already. Welcome to the show. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm so excited.
I know, me too. And you made a drive today, so
I did make a drive, but you know what though? It's a beautiful day, so it was no problem. It is.
No, well, there's snow, but like it's already existing snow.
Yes.
So that's fine. We'll deal with that.
Yes.
We'll deal with that. So thank you for coming.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Very welcome. Let's get into like a little brief bio of who Kate is.
Well, I currently live in Brantford, Ontario, so it took me about an hour and 20 minutes to get here, which is really exciting because Toronto has a special place in my heart. We always used to come here before the pandemic to go shopping at the Eaton Centre and do the nightlife things. So, and I've been there for almost 12 years now. And I started my real estate career in Burlington, but by the time I was fully licensed, I moved to Brantford with my husband, and now we have 3 boys.
Nice.
And we have a real estate team, which is growing and expanding faster than I can keep up with. So I love it there. Yeah.
That's awesome. And how long have you been in it?
I have been in Brantford for, I think it'll be 12 years. This August will be 12 years living in Brantford. I was from the Niagara region before.
Very cool. Congrats on the 12 years.
Yes.
So you are the number 1 agent in Bradford?
Yes, for transactions and volume.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
And then you're also the team leader of the number 1 team?
Yes.
So let's talk about that. That's a huge accomplishment in itself.
Yeah, the team is probably a lot more exciting than me. We have been known as the mom team for as long as we can remember, and we've just recently added 2 guys, so balances out the estrogen a little bit.
Yeah, you need that sometimes.
We do. And we have 13 agents now and 5 support staff and 2 brokerages that are opening for spring, summer 2022. So that's the big news right now for our team.
And you're with Revel.
Yes, and I just made the move to Revel in September of 2021, which was a huge move for me since I held my license with Sutton since the beginning of time. And the move was really to parallel our values and how we do business with the values that Revel stands for. And Ryan and Nikki Saravelli have done just such an exceptional job leading from the front with those values. And so it was just really a natural progression for our 2 brands to come together. And it's we've really received an overwhelming amount of support. And so we're really excited that we did the move.
Yeah, it's a really cool brand.
Yeah.
It does carry that like kind of like that prestigious, elegant, higher end feel to it.
Yeah, a little edgy, more lifestyle with those black and white photos. Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. First time hearing about it was through Andrew Perry.
Yes. Yes.
But just like even the content you guys make together and like the videos. And
yes.
Really cool branding, and congrats on your second office now.
Yeah, we actually, so we started out opening because we don't have the bricks and mortar yet, but Revel, the Kate Broddick team in Brantford. But I actually got Norfolk's building first. So I just closed on that on Friday, which was really exciting. So that is being demolitioned right now.
Fun part.
I was told by our contractor, Mark Annual, who is Watermark Boards. He's a great guy in the Brant County area. And he was showing me pictures of all the lack of insulation and how bad my walls were. So it's going to be a big project, but it's going to be beautiful when it's done. So
it's going to make for some good before and afters.
Some major good before and afters. Yeah. Yes.
Can't wait to see it. So let's dive into becoming number 1 and just building the successful team that you built.
Yeah.
And just the success behind, kind of, or the tips to reaching a level that you're at.
When I speak to agents, and everyone always asks, and I'm sure you get the same questions, what worked for you, or what's that secret sauce? Yeah. And it's hard to really put it into like one tip, but I would say that building a foundation of good business practices that you can consistently follow up on a daily basis was probably what led to my personal success. And when I say by building those foundations, it's those systems that you can follow on a daily basis that almost become robotic to you because you just know them so well. So your lead generation, we always call it a power hour, but I'm not going to steal that phrase because it came from Rebecca Johnson, one of my top agents. But level setting your mindset in the beginning of the day to set out what you're going to do for the rest of the day. And then, of course, making sure that your follow-up and your support is at its top of its game at all times. And I really do think that that's where agents fall short, is the consistency of those foundational systems, right? Mm-hmm. And that's where it's like you do it a little bit here, you do it a little bit there, you kind of fall off the boat. You need to have those foundation systems like hammered down on a daily basis.
And what does this power hour look like?
So my personal power hour is always what we call our check-in email. So you're in that 1 hour before the office opens, you're laying out your day. So you're time blocking or batching content. You're really setting your day up for success with a little bit of flexibility for those unknowns. As you probably know, as a realtor, we don't always. Of those. Yeah, that's right. You need to have that, like we call like be able to pivot, right, in your day. So time blocking is a huge one. Being able to complete tasks and setting the time aside for those in between your meetings and your follow up, and then also relying on really good CRM systems, which I don't know that a lot of people do. You need to be able to follow up in mass text, mass email, being able to add value to your clients, not in bulk because it takes away that personal aspect of it. But
I agree.
If you have thousands of clients in your database, you can't individually email all these people all at once. No, it's not possible.
I mean, you could, but good luck.
Yeah, or you'd be getting one email out for the entire year per client, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just really, it's really sticking to systems that work and reevaluating on probably a pretty regular basis what doesn't work and changing that out.
Nice. Systems are crucial, so important, and just like organizing it just helps you mentally organize. I think that's huge in itself, because if you're not organized, you're anxious.
Yes.
And then you're just downhill from there. So
and being prepared is half the battle, right?
Huge part of the battle.
And that's and the mindset is a big thing too. I mean, every morning, like, it's almost you got to prepare yourself for that day, right? And so whether you're meditating or journaling or exercise, which is always, all of those things are a big part of my personal life.
Me too.
And I find that when I'm on the top of my game with those things, the rest of it follows suit.
Yep.
So that's a big one for me.
And things come easier.
Yes.
The outside things come a little bit easier when you're working on the inside.
I would say that's where you should be working on first, is your own front door before you start projecting anything else out onto anyone else, right? And especially in a time like this, right?
Oh, huge.
Mindset is, you can tell the people who are maybe not necessarily lacking, but falling short on that. And it really is quite evident in their daily practices.
Well, yeah, it's just like, even like the environment, especially living in like a city, we have long winters.
Yes.
If we really have to stay mentally sharp.
Yes.
And that positivity is huge.
Yes.
Because it's so easy to get in a rut, and then your work's affected, personal life's affected, everything's affected.
Everything is affected.
Everything.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in that, and I would say over the last few years, especially, those practices in keeping yourself positive and really keeping true to your values and your goals through positive mindset is more important now than ever. For sure.
And we spoke about this a bit before, so we'll dive into it a little bit now. I love it. You're big on the energy thing, and
I am. Energy is my religion.
Same.
Yep.
Does your team share the same kind of
1,000%,
cool.
And some of them a little bit more vocal about it than others, but I would say that everyone shares in the value of it, but maybe necessarily doesn't combat it at the same way. So there's a few of us on the team who are really big into energy and crystals and natural elements of the earth, and we find it so profound, whereas others may feel that the energy comes in a different form, maybe not necessarily the way we see it, but we have a very, very strong-minded team that is really rooted in positive mindset and positive energy. And people probably look at you sometimes, like I know me, and they're like, what's this chick talking about? Or what is this? What is all this energy thing? But if you really tap into what energies feel like, you instantly gravitate towards the positive and you instantly shut off the negative. Like you walk into a room and you get that thick feeling. You're like, oh my God, get me out of here.
Oh my, yeah.
Do you feel that?
Like times 10, yep. Very sensitive to it.
Me as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I walk up to someone and it's almost like, I always do the metaphor of like dogs. They kind of smell each other. Like, do I like you? Do I not like you? Energy is the same. You walk up to somebody, it introduces you before you say anything.
Yeah.
It's like your energy is really, it's like your business card. It tells a lot about you.
Yeah.
And so for me, if I walk up to someone and I can just feel that thickness, that heavy air, it's like, not sure if I want to get involved with you right now.
Yeah.
It's huge.
It is massive. Even like whether it's a client, you're sitting down with them and it's like, oh, maybe it's not going to be the best kind of experience. And just to know, like, put your foot down, like, I'm not the right fit for you. That's powerful.
That is very powerful. That's aware.
Yeah.
That is a level of self-awareness that I would say a lot of businesses don't operate at. Yeah,
definitely not. Just saying yes to everything.
That's right.
Not usually the best route to go. And I'm sure like your whole team being on this wave, we'll call it a wave because it's fitting. Sure, that brings a good culture to your offices, and I imagine everyone's kind of really motivated.
They are
at all times, which is really cool.
They are, and I'm really fortunate because we do have a lot of different personalities, as everyone would, but they jive so well, and we've really worked on our mindset together. Going through this pandemic, being mothers, raising kids, homeschooling, business, some are working, some are not being able to really dive into the culture that we've created together really set us back a little bit. And we've had to really work ourselves to get us back to where we were. But I will say that we feed off each other. So if you put us all into the room, it is a big energy. It is a huge energy, and it's what I thrive off of because they bring something so valuable to me outside of business relations. They are just so fulfilling, and to watch them grow into the agents that they've become has been really rewarding. Yeah, no, definitely. It's just amplified. Yes. The more you're around it. Yes. And it's super powerful, and brings forward amazing successes, opportunities. Results, that's the word. That's right. And what was the question I had? Do you find your agents are coming in the office a lot? Yes. Or working from home more? So right now we're kind of in that limbo mode because our Brantford office, we don't get it until later in the spring, and then we have some renovations, and then the Norfolk office is obviously under construction. But we do have a small space that we utilize, and we just unfortunately have to adopt our like Google Meet meetings and, getting together on a small scale. We are actually getting together. We planned something for when we opened up for the restaurants to get together to build that culture. But we have adapted in the best way we possibly can right now. But when we did have our office at Sutton, we were there. Yeah. And you know what? You feed off of the knowledge of each other. You feed off of the experience the other agents have to offer. And even just listening to the conversations that are going on that are so empowering in the office really set the tone for a positive culture in my mind. I will never be able to adopt the just work from home. And no. I feel like you would be similar. You need that connection. You need to vibe off of other people and being at home. Like I have a cat. He's awesome. But he just doesn't do it for me. His name is Spro, like an espresso. Oh, I love that. Because he looks like a coffee. Oh, yeah, that's cute. Same color. So he's a little kitty. He's cute. But he doesn't do it for you. He does a little bit, but not enough. So, and I found myself when I moved down to the city, working from my home. Like I set up my home office, super like feng shui and like it's like just to get in my zone, but it still doesn't do it for me. I need to be at the office. So I actually feel bad for any new agents that have come into it after the pandemic, because they may just, all they know is maybe working from home, you know, and they may not be getting the proper, maybe not hearing the proper conversations or getting the proper advice or feedback that they should by not going into the office. And are most offices are open now, right? Yeah, from my understanding, in our local city, we do have the offices open. There was a period of time there where they were shut down, and we just had our admin staff in them just because. but it's collaboration.
Yeah.
This is a relationship business, and whether it's relationships with clients, I think a lot of people forget that it's also a lot of relationships with other agents.
Huge.
Like that's collaboration. That's having good colleagues. That's having camaraderie and culture within the workplace, maybe outside of your team, or if you're an individual agent. That's really what brings the secret sauce to anyone's business. Like, I mean, you were talking about Andrew Perry. He has a ton of referral business from collaboration.
Yeah.
It's a smart way to run your show. You need other colleagues to also succeed in this business. And when you shut yourself off from opportunities in those relationships, you really stunt your growth.
Definitely. So you only do so much as one person.
That's exactly right.
And when I had Andrew on, actually, it's a term I always use, and I heard it from a podcast myself, real estate related. It's called co-opetition. So instead of competition, it's co-opetition.
I love that.
Yeah. So, and that's more directed at working with another agent on the other side. So if you're the buying agent and there's a listing agent, it's not a competition between you two or like a boxing match.
Yeah.
It's more like a dance, you know?
Yeah, I love that.
It's co-opetition. Like, let's work together. Let's meet at the middle here.
It's romanticizing
and get
that.
this
I love
deal
it.
done, right? So, yeah, like once you change that perspective, like I've love building my network of agents because number one, it helps my clients.
Yes, it does.
Especially in these bidding wars.
Yes, it does. Absolutely.
And when it comes to looking at in outside places, like now you're my Brantford agent.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I feel very honored.
No problem. Sorry to everyone else in Brantford. But now, like, it allows me to feel super comfortable knowing that I really know the person that my client's being handed off to.
And that's a business that a lot of realtors just don't, I don't know why they don't tap into. That referral business is so important. I mean, to be able to say, okay, I have a client going to Toronto, it's like you instantly know, well, I've got a guy, his name is Matt, he's amazing. You can check out his podcast. He helps his clients. He's ethical. He's got great values. He loves energy. So do I. Yeah. It's great. And it's such an untapped market. And if you lead with respect for your colleagues, the relationships grow. Your business grows. Everyone benefits from it. And I'm going to use that term now. It's never going to be competition. It's going to be co-opetition. If I can get it out of my mouth, I'm not very good with.
I'll give you like 2-3 days, you'll get it.
Yeah. I'll just practice in the mirror.
Just keep practicing. Yeah, it's huge because it's like, it's just that thing. We just all feed off each other. So and I think as humans we're meant to.
Yes, I agree.
Right? We're just born with it.
Yeah.
Right now, especially in the world we live in, it's a lot of fear.
Yes.
And a lot of like one side versus one side, and just a lot of negativity. And you can literally feel that we're going nowhere.
Yes.
With that. And when you're able to be in a room of people on the same wavelength, everyone's willing to work together and like drop egos and pride and just move forward together, it's like you're blasting off. You're speaking my language, and that's because people live in a state of ego. It's full of fear. Yep. It's so refreshing when you come up to somebody and they can just be vulnerable with you. Yeah. Vulnerability is one of my favorite qualities in people because it really shows their authentic self. And it's like, you know what, I may be ridiculed for this. You may feel weird that I'm being so vulnerable, but at the end of the day, I'm being true to who I am, and there's nothing that you can't see in me that I'm not putting out there. Yeah. And I think that's if we drop the ego in business and personal life, we'd all be in a lot better spot. Guaranteed. It would shift, be a massive shift. Yes, it would be. And people in general, like whatever business you're in, was to take that on, the world would be a different place too. It would be. It should be a big vibe. And that's actually, we teamed up with Kathleen Black, Coaching and Consulting. Oh my goodness. And I've really been following her now, and I listen to her mindset videos, and she just speaks the language that I really try to live every day. And, if everybody just jumped on this board of leading with love and dropping the ego and being vulnerable, you're right. The world would be a different place. Yeah. Our business would be different. It would. Our business would be so different. So different. I feel like it is shifting. Yes. The old school mindset, it's still there, but it's going to be, eventually. I was there. Not proud to say it. I was brought into it too. Yeah, I was. Years ago when, and it was maybe a bit of a product of my environment too. You had these older agents that, I've been, licensed longer than you've been born, and I'm like, well, sorry that I'm like in my 20s. Yeah, sorry, I was born in this year. Sorry, I was born in 1983. Yeah. But then I did find myself getting bogged down by that negativity, and I was being competitive, and it didn't make me feel good.
and it didn't make the other person feel good.
Yep.
And it's only been, the last like several years where it's like, you know what, I'm not here to fluff my feathers and stick out my chest and make me seem bigger. I just really want to get this done for everybody, and let's just work together. Like, it doesn't have to be challenging.
No, definitely not.
So
Definitely not.
I agree with you.
I felt that shift too, and I've been at the same office since I started.
Oh, really?
And you can just see it now. We're very small.
Yeah.
But we're all just working together and like teaming up on deals, and everything's just flowing, and we're all transacting, and it's great.
And how does that make you feel, though?
Amazing.
Positive. You want to go to work.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It is. It's
we're
a totally
all
different
winning
mindset.
together. There's nothing beats that.
Rising tides raise all ships. It's one
I
of
like
my
that.
favorite things to say, because it's the truth, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if everyone's being uplifted together, there's really no win or lose. It's just harmony.
Yeah.
Right?
And I feel like the shift
It's there.
it's there, and it's going to continue to get stronger and stronger.
That's awesome.
I look forward to it.
Yes, me too.
So you are a mother of 3
Yes.
boys.
Boys.
Tough.
No, I wanted boys.
Oh,
Oh my
same.
goodness. Yes.
Well, I don't have kids.
No, but you know
I
what?
did, yeah.
I never saw myself having a daughter, and don't ask me why. I maybe I was like fearful of it, knowing what me and my 2 sisters were like growing
Yeah.
up. But I do. I have 3 boys. Jack is my oldest. He just turned 8 on Christmas Eve. Finn is my middle child, and he'll be 5 in April. And Reese is my youngest, and he'll be 3 in April.
Very cool.
So lots of energy.
That's a good gap.
Yeah,
It's a great gap.
I think from number 1 was always the hardest, right? It's you're coming into parenthood, and then we had the last 2 very close together, and more than ever, watching them grow up and watching them play and interact with each other is just such a joy. It's extremely busy. I have a very supportive husband who's very supportive of not even just our family, but also my career, because it's crazy.
So important.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's got to start in the household. You guys
Yeah.
have to be a team when it comes to that stuff, right?
Definitely.
And I'm not above to say that he picks up the slack sometimes for me during busy peak times, like the spring market. He has no problem playing roles of both parents when needed. If I'm running late, or what it's like, you don't get penciled in for deals and transactions. It just happens sometimes, right? And the support at home is unbelievable. And I think the kids just naturally see us as leading by example in both of our businesses. My husband's a chiropractor, so he has his own practice.
So he's definitely busy in him
Yeah,
as well, right?
absolutely.
That's very, very important. That's it's inspiring. I like
It
to hear
is.
that.
And now he actually, when we were first having children, he got licensed so
nice.
that he could take the burden off me during late nights when I had little babies. And which was obviously lovely of him. And then he parked it because we were busy and we were functioning, and then the pandemic happened, and we had to level set our goals as a family. And so he reinstated his license, and Ryan takes on a really great side view of like property management and leasing for the team, but he's also really good at managing. So he's going to be actually managing the Norfolk office.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. So we're really excited about that. It's going to be like a family affair. So
amazing. And similar concepts, growing together.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
In all
And
aspects.
whatever way that looks like, right? I
Yeah.
mean, for every family, it's different, and it's important to be on the same ship when you're a team.
Well, I'm sure you'll be an inspiration for many out there, because you reaching the success you have while having 3 kids.
Yes.
And that balance, just so important. Do you have any tricks?
Well, you know what? Time management is huge in my life. It has to be. I don't expect everybody to wake up in the morning the same time that I do, but
What time do you wake up?
well, I don't know. It's been like the last 60 days has been like 3:34.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure why that
Power
time
hour.
is.
That's the power hour.
That's my power. That's actually my time.
Yeah.
I don't usually start working all the time at that time, but I would say that time management is huge. Knowing when to lean on your support staff when needed, and that you're not the genius in everything you do in your life. And that was a hard one for me to pull back on, because I'm a type A personality. Not that I think I know better, but I will be the one that takes it on, because I think sometimes I can do it faster.
Yeah.
And when I dropped that was a pinnacle move in my career, and for my family as well. So being able to surround yourself with people who are just better than you at certain aspects of the business, whether that be administrative support staff, a director of operations or communications, your social media expert, or website design. You can't do it all.
No.
And to be honest, I don't want to.
No.
I've learned that.
Yeah. Freedom.
Yes.
Right?
And I've actually, I don't know about you, but when you step away from it, you're like, why didn't I do this before?
Yeah. I just hired an assistant.
How's that?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Amazing so far.
You sound like you're relieved.
I've been thinking about it, but I don't even know what kind of personality I am. Maybe I'm a type A too, because I need to do everything. But this past couple of years, I'm like, same idea. I just awoke to the fact that, all right, Matt, you're good. Just you're able to feed it off.
Yes.
Give yourself some more time, And yeah, I just started with her, but we'll see how it goes. But so far, so good.
Yeah.
And I think that's crucial. If you're like that,
Yes.
to just surrender to the fact that it's okay.
Yes.
Let other people take on some other
That's
areas
right.
where you might be weak in.
They're also probably better than you at it.
Yeah, and that's okay.
That's actually what you want.
Yeah, it's fine.
And I'm so fortunate. My staff is, I'm going to say it, the best staff out there. And they have no problem saying, Kate, go. Like, we got this.
Yeah.
You need to get lost now. Actually, you're now impeding on our success.
Yeah.
Because you're driving us nuts. So get out of the room. And you know what? I've learned to just embrace that they have it running. They know what they're doing. And it allows me to do things like this and to collaborate and to do things in our profession that I think just give it such a well-rounded shape to it. And it's so much more fulfilling than just, transacting 24 hours a day. It makes the relationships more meaningful.
Yeah, there's so much more to our business than just transacting.
Yes. I mean, I love the social media. I think you do too.
I do.
I don't give up on my agent Kate.
Me too.
Yeah, I find that's the only thing I can't, because that's me.
Because it's authentic you.
Yes, that's right.
Only you are you.
That's right.
I'm the same way. People say, we'll post for you. I said no. Or we'll comment for you. I said no.
No.
Because my comments are my comments.
I was going to ask you that, because I'm like, he is everybody's biggest fan. He's so nice.
Yeah, I love it. That's me.
I love that.
Yeah, and there's sometimes where, I'm not going to lie, I do my thing on Instagram, and then I'll come off. I might watch a couple stories. I make sure I do mine, and then there's not a lot of time I'm scrolling through. But then there's days where I just wake up like, okay, today I need to support.
Yeah.
And I'll even go back into people's pages. Definitely people who support me, I definitely have to repay the favor.
It's relationships.
It is.
It's and that's where people, I think, lose the social media. Is it was built to be a social network of camaraderie and culture, cheering each other on, forming relationships. That's what social media was. It's social.
Yeah.
And, if you don't give back, you can't expect to receive as well. And it builds community. I mean, it builds a huge community. I have people, I'm sure you the same, that I feel like I have a connection with them that I've never even met them.
Yeah.
Like,
same. I have people we're always talking in the DMs.
Yes.
Joking.
Yes.
Personal conversations.
Yes.
Never met them.
But that's what it's meant to be.
But you feel like you know them because of their profile, your profile.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it's meant to be. And I make sure to even, people commenting on my pictures, I make sure to comment back on every single one. Just acknowledge, make sure that they know that, I saw their comment, I appreciated it. I think that's, to me, I like that. I think that's huge.
Yes, it is.
Because you never know. Some people might comment like, oh, that person never acknowledged my comment. I'm never going to comment again.
Yeah. A little bit of an insult, right?
Yeah, right? Yeah. So you got to there's a whole Instagram kind of world out there. There's an Instagram etiquette you got to follow.
There is an etiquette,
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
I love that.
So 30 minutes has flown by.
I know. I told you I can talk.
Yeah, I love it though. It's good. We're flowing nice. But I will get into the last segment. And as I mentioned before, I do ask everyone this question. Where do you see the market headed? Let's say 1 to 2 years.
Okay. I'm going to answer that in 2 parts then.
I love 2 parts.
And I know that I might get slack for this, but I truly believe that we are in an inventory crisis. Mm-hmm. And that's simply because we don't have enough homes for people. And until that is able to be rectified, I see prices continuing to rise because the supply is so low that the demand is so high that we're seeing these extreme prices happening and these extreme bidding wars because people are fearful of not having a home. And when you're led by fear, unfortunately, these are the outcomes, right? These extremes.
Yeah.
So I believe the next year we're definitely going to continue to see that. They're even forecasting 9 to 11% over last year. And I'm seeing prices now in January that I would have never been able to stomach in December.
Yeah, just like last year, that December to January shift.
Holy,
what
nuts.
A pop.
And I've been floored
same.
many times this month. And so as much as I want to say that I think it's going to correct itself, it doesn't just naturally correct itself. No. It needs a motivation behind it. We need the houses, we need the inventory to come up so buyers have more options. And when they feel like they don't have the option, they're going gangbusters on this one home. And unfortunately, that is just what we're up against. Year number 2, I think, is going to be based on policy and change from the government level. Interest rates, I don't think alone are going to combat this. They just went up again, on Friday or Saturday?
But there's money's still so cheap.
That's the thing. It's
so
like
cheap.
You go up a quarter point. What's that going to do?
It's still so cheap.
It's going to have to be like, I know there's a lot of policy on the table, whether you agree or not agree with them. I'm not even sure if that's going to combat it because once again, we're still in a deficit of homes.
I mean, I'm not a politician by any means, but it takes time for these things to come into play as well. So I think at least these next 1 to 2 years.
Yeah.
Expect that increase. Expect that same kind of market condition.
Yeah, exactly. And I think you need to look at the overall picture of this as a home buyer because, there are people 3, 4, 5 years ago who said the market's going to crash. And then now they're bought out of the market. So that's the unfortunate part, right? So it's about understanding what's going on right now in your immediate future, which would be the 1 to 2 years that, get into that market. If you plan on staying there and you're able to sustain it and it's within your means and you're not living outside of those, then try everything you can to get into the market.
Especially if you're long term.
Yeah, if you're planning on flipping it in a year, who cares? Real estate is riding the ebbs and flows. It's like the stock market. Yeah. It's going to peak, it's going to valley, but at the end of the day, if you're there for the long haul, you'll be fine.
If you love it, get it.
Yeah, that's what I do when it comes to shopping.
Just get it.
That's right.
Stop listening to your second cousin.
Yes.
Who's been saying it's going to crash for the past 5 years.
That's
okay?
Right.
Listen to the experts.
That's right. Listen to him.
And Kate. Listen to Kate. Don't listen to me. Awesome.
Yeah.
This has been great.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
Yeah, it's awesome. We'll definitely do a round 2 at some point.
Yes.
I like getting repeat episodes on.
Oh, God,
especially when they're great. So thank you for that. For your new fans,
yes.
Where can they find you?
For Instagram. So
Instagram, sure.
Instagram, I'm on Instagram. I mean, you can go on Facebook too, but Instagram
Let's stick with that.
The Kate Broddick team is our team account. If you're looking for all things real estate in Brantford, if you want a little bit of positivity and crystals and some energy thrown in there too, agent.kate is my personal Instagram. It is run by me. We just had that conversation about it. And Facebook's the same. It's Agent Kate and the Kate Broddick team.
Awesome. And when's Buzz? March?
Buzz is March. Yes, March 31st.
March 31st. So Kate and I will be on a panel together.
Yes.
And amongst some other great agents as well. And talking about socials and podcasting,
social media and podcast. Well, you're the podcast expert on there.
I'll be talking about the podcast.
I won't be talking about that. I'll just be gushing that I finally got asked to be on his podcast.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm going to have next week I have Matt Leonetti on.
I fangirl over him and I think I make him so uncomfortable because anytime he posts or comments, I'm like, literally, I'm your biggest fan. I'm not going to be obnoxious when I meet you, but I'm going to make you tell me jokes.
Yeah, he's hilarious. He's hilarious.
So great. I'm a huge fan.
So I'm excited because I'll get to know you guys. I've gotten to know you now prior.
And the Storybook team, or is it Story team? Is it Tom Story? That's right. I'm really looking forward.
I'm going to have him come on here too. I don't know if it'll be before March though.
Okay.
Oh, maybe. Actually, you know what? There's enough time.
Yeah. I think you should. Then you'll get that vibe and that energy when we all sit on a panel.
Be a collective.
That's right.
We'll just own it.
Yeah, that's right.
So look out for us March 31st if you're, attending in person or.
Is it virtual option?
I don't know, but just come in person and come say hi.
Yes.
How about that? But yeah, we'll post her links on all our platforms as well, so you can find it in case you forgot what she said. But it is agent.kate. And again, thank you so much for coming.
Yes.
It's been amazing.
It's been awesome.
And to everyone out there, thank you for tuning in. Like, subscribe, share, tell all your friends, and we will see you on the next one. Thank you.